All right, let's come to order here, folks. We've got our jurors back here patiently waiting. I don't know if we have to... Oh, there goes our mood lighting again. All right. Are we all ready? All right. Then with that, plaintiff may call their first witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Mona Lisa Gambini to the stand, please.
Please have a seat, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, jurors.
Counsel, do you want to swear that witness, or do you want me to do it?
You can do that, Your
All
Honor.
right, ma'am, if you could raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm that your testimony in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. Please sit and spell your name for the record.
My name is Mona Lisa Gambini. That's Monalisa Gambini. G as in George, Ambini.
Miss Gambini, I detect a little accent. Are you from around here?
Well, I'm not from around here.
Where are you from, Miss Gambini?
I was born in Brooklyn.
What do you do for a living?
I am a mechanic. I am a master certified auto mechanic.
What did you do to learn how to be a mechanic in the first place?
Gosh, I was born into this. My father is a mechanic. My mother's father was a mechanic. My brothers, all three of them, mechanics. I had 4 uncles who were all mechanics. I'm born into mechanics.
Is your husband a mechanic?
My husband is a lawyer.
Okay. What's his name?
His name is Vincent Gambini III.
Thank you. What did you have to do in terms of exams? What did you have to do in your work of experience to be a mechanic?
Okay, so just a regular mechanic.
Can you walk us through that, please?
Sure, I'm going to talk to the jury.
Okay.
Okay, so a regular mechanic is a regular mechanic, but I'm a master certified auto mechanic. So let me tell you what I had to do. First of all, I started working with my father from when I was very young, just, around his garage. Then I had to do steps you have to take. So I had to be an apprentice for a couple of years. Then I had to actually be working in a garage, not just as an apprentice. Sometimes they call that a journeyman. Not the right term for a woman, but whatever. Then you have to take some tests, okay? There were 8 or 9 tests, and they had multiple choice questions, and 50 on each one, and you have to know how to do everything. You have to know how to change the carburetor. You have to know how to tune the transmission. I mean, beginning to end, you need to know everything. So I did all of that to become a master certified auto mechanic.
When did you first start working as an auto mechanic?
I mean, unofficially,
Yes.
from a very young age,
Okay.
in my father's garage. And then I officially started work, because I was also a hairdresser. So I was flipping back and forth. Hairdresser, mechanic for a while.
Okay.
But then I met that guy who's also in the case, Real Muto.
Yeah. How did you end up at, if I can stop you a second?
Yeah.
How did you end up at Rio Motu Restoration?
So we were at a car show.
Yep.
Both of us were at the same car show, and we started talking, and he was very impressed by me, of course, and he hired me on the spot.
He offered you a job right there?
Right then and there.
Were you surprised by that?
I mean, look at me.
What type of work does Rio Muto Restoration do?
So they're high end. I mean, it's a beautiful business. They take care of very special cars that some of them are very old, but they're all, classic and, they're not your off the rack, so to speak, cars. They're something a little bit more unique, and they do everything. Again, transmission tuning, carburetor, front end, back end, I don't know, there's a lot to go into.
Did you start working for him and them in 2001?
I did, I worked there from 2001.
And the type of work that you did for him until you were fired was tune-ups, engine rebuilds, trannies, rear ends, all that stuff.
Objection. It's leading, Your Honor.
Counsel?
I'll rephrase it.
All right.
I'm sorry. I think my lawyer's...
He's going to ask you a new question.
Okay. He's just trying to help me a little bit because I'm very nervous. Okay.
What type of work did you do for Rio Muto restoration?
So I
Could you
did
tell us about that?
transmissions, I did engine rebuilds, I did carburetors, I did front end, rear end. Is that better?
So you started there in 2001.
Yes.
You talked to us about the rigorous exams and the other training that you went through, the
Yes.
apprenticeship program.
Yes.
And then when did you become a certified mechanic? When did you get the certified license? You remember?
First of all, that was through an organization called Automotive Service Excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was 2006. I'm not so great with years, but I think it was 2006 that I became certified.
Was the job physical?
I mean, of course it was physical, but, nothing I couldn't handle. Once in a blue moon, I would have to ask one of the fellas to lift something for me.
Did you ever, other than the once in a blue moon, did you
Yeah.
ever have any issues with doing the physical work that's required in the shop?
No, absolutely not.
Did you ever complain to Mr. Riomuto or anyone else in the shop about the physical nature of the job that you had to do?
No, this was the job. I understood what I was doing. I understood what I was getting myself into.
Did Mr. Riomuto ever suggest that you couldn't do the job?
No.
Did he ever make any comments about whether you were strong enough to do the job?
I mean, he's, whatever. Some men are just not kind to women. So I'm sure he said things, never anything that I took seriously.
Did you ever ask for help to lift an engine or work on a carburetor?
I mean, I think occasionally, but so would one of the fellas. Sometimes something took two people.
And even when they had to do it, they had to get assistance from someone else. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Okay. You, along with your colleagues, routinely played pool. You guys went out for pool once a week or once every couple weeks, right?
Well, the big time that we played was at the holiday party every year.
Yep.
But yeah, we played a lot of pool.
That must have been a lot of fun.
It was great. Everybody likes to get a little competitive every now and then.
Okay. Are you competitive?
I can be competitive. You don't get ahead if you're not a little competitive.
Did you ever play pool against him? Did you
I
guys set
did.
up games?
He would do this thing at the holiday party every year. He would say, okay, we're going to play pool, and if you beat me, you get an extra day off. Well, who doesn't want an extra day off? And I'm a very good pool player. So, needless to say, year after year, I beat him, and I don't think he cared for that.
How many days off did you get as a result of that?
I mean, one a year,
Before I move on to that area,
Bless you.
did you ever have any attendance issues at your job?
Look, I travel a long distance to get there. I won't say there weren't times that there was some traffic, occasionally, but I wasn't like one of these people who just didn't show up for work. I mean, was I perfect every single time? Probably not, but I don't think I would call it attendance issues.
Did you ever get written up for any attendance issues?
For attendance, I don't think so.
Did you ever get written up for anything while you were working there?
So, I heard those opening statements. Everybody's talking about me being mouthy. I mean, I don't even know mouthy. Obviously, these people aren't from Brooklyn. This is just how it is, okay? But I think as I mentioned, I had to work hard to get ahead, and I don't like being spoken down to. And sometimes customers would come in, they have no idea what they're friggin', can I say friggin' here, Your Honor? I'm sorry. They don't know what they're talking about. And maybe there was a time or two where I, kind of got into it a little with the customer.
We're back to the pool a second.
Okay.
You beat him a lot when you're playing pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Yes.
every time?
I'm sorry?
Almost every time?
Pretty much, I think maybe every time.
Did he ever make any comments to you about how he hated losing to you?
Yeah, it wasn't, he didn't love that I could beat him. He certainly made comments.
Did he ever say to you he hated losing to frauds?
Yeah, broad. I mean, who uses that word in 2025 or whatever year it was?
Well, no one should.
No, absolutely.
Did anything change in 2021, 2022 at work after you beat him at pool for the umpteenth time?
I mean, I think, he, I don't know, had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, maybe acted a little bit more cool around me than, remember, we got off to a very good start. He hired me on the spot, and maybe over the years he didn't love that I was better at things than
Did he
him.
treat you differently for the last couple of years, 2020, 2021?
Yeah, I would say he did.
Okay. Now, directing your attention to the spring of 2022, there was another mechanic working there who was the chief mechanic, right?
Yes, that was...
And what was her name?
I thought the chief mechanic was, what was that name again?
If I can refresh your recollection.
Yeah, could ya?
Chamberlain Gwynn,
Yes. Oh, gosh, she was lovely.
was she?
Yes.
And she was the chief mechanic at that time?
Yes, but
2022.
she was getting ready to retire, and I knew that she was getting ready to retire, and I made it very clear to Mr. Riamuto that I would like that position and that I was qualified for that
Did
position.
you apply for that promotion in the spring of 2022?
I did.
Okay.
I threw my hat in the ring, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you get promoted?
I did not.
Why not?
Well, I mean, that's why we're here. I don't know, because I was certainly qualified for that position, more so than the guy he hired.
If you weren't hired, who was? What's his name?
His name is Pete Alonzo.
Was he a co-worker of yours in
No.
Chamberlain at the time?
No, he was an outsider, this guy. And he was not as qualified as the people who, from within,
Had he been a mechanic as long as you?
not as long as me.
Was he an ASCE certified mechanic?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Were you upset when you didn't get the promotion?
Absolutely, wouldn't you be?
Yeah. Did you tell Mr. Riamuto you were upset?
I did.
What was his reaction?
He, dismissed me. What do you think? You broad? I'm going to hire a broad to be the, the other one, Chamberlain was. But this guy had it out for me.
And it goes without saying that Mr. Alonzo, who you hired, is a man, right?
Absolutely.
Did anyone else apply for that promotion other than you and him?
Not that I'm aware of. Certainly not anyone from the shop.
Did Mr. Riamuto give you any reasons why he was hired for the promotion that you sought?
So I think, he brought up the Malaby thing again, which, by the way, I worked for the man for over 20 years. You're going to pick 2 times where I might have been a little bit mouthy, and that makes me disqualified for a position that I'm clearly qualified for?
During the 21 years you worked there, were you ever written up for being mouthy?
You say written up. I think, he called it to my attention. Maybe one time he made me apologize to a customer. So, I don't know if he wrote it down, but it was definitely, he made it a thing.
To use some HR vernacular, were you ever put on a performance improvement plan during the 21 years you worked there?
I don't believe so, no.
Were you ever given a written counseling notice while you worked there?
No. Counseling? Did he send me for counseling?
No.
Okay.
Were you ever formally disciplined in writing or otherwise, other than the one time?
No, he made me apologize, and made some comments to me.
And did you apologize when he asked you to?
Yeah.
To the customer?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still work for Mr. Riamuto?
I do not.
What happened?
Well, not only did I not get the promotion, but he fired me.
Do you remember the date that he fired you?
I want to say it was in 2022. I told you I'm not great with dates, but I think it was in June of 2022.
If I suggested June 3rd, does that refresh your recollection?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Okay. When he fired you, what did he say was the reason?
You're mouthy. I don't really...
That's it?
Yeah, you're mouthy.
Did he make...
By the way, may I just say,
Yeah, go ahead.
Like mouthy is a thing that we worry about in this country? I mean, our president's kind of mouthy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right, Ms. Gambini, if you could just listen to the question that's asked by your attorney and answer only that question.
My
I'd like the
apologies.
jury to disregard that response.
My apologies, Your Honor. I'm sorry. This is not an easy thing to be doing. I'm very stressed out. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When he fired you, did that make you mad?
Of course it made me
Did it make
mad.
you upset?
It made me very upset.
It came out of the blue?
I mean, I worked for the man for over 20 years.
I guess it made you mad.
It did.
Okay. Did it make you mad enough to do something?
I mean, whatever. We all go and try to vent a little bit. Nothing like that. I wasn't like a violent person. I wasn't, I probably put a few things out there on social media, but I think that's not a big deal. I wasn't saying anything that wasn't true.
Did you put him on Truth Social?
I'm not sure if I did that. I think it was more of like a tweet here and an Instagram post there.
What did you try to do for employment after that?
So I decided, look, I'm not going to work for some man anymore. So I set about to open my own shop.
Mm-hmm.
I could do a little hair on the side, people at their homes, I'm good at it. But I started collecting money, trying to save up some money. My husband, Vinny, he's a personal injury lawyer. So we were trying to put together some money. And I started getting the word out that this was what I was going to do.
So
this word is very important in this business.
So this came out of the blue. How is that shop going?
My shop?
Yes. Not the hair shop.
No, it's not. It's not going so well. It takes a very long time, to build up a business. And it's not like where I used to work was called Mona Lisa Gambini's. So they don't all necessarily know my name.
So it's still a work in process.
It's a work in process.
Where were you directing your attention on June 17th of 2022?
I believe I was at my Aunt Lulu's doing hair for a bunch of people at the house, but I'm not sure. Is that the date they think I'm at some mob thing?
I'll represent to you that that's the date of the incident involving the mob protest that we're here for today.
I was not at any mob protest.
You sure about that?
I am positive.
Did you know that there was a protest that day?
I mean, I know that people were upset. People
Okay.
were rallying around me because especially the women in the community who knew me could not believe I was fired for being a woman. And I think people were upset. There were also men who I worked on their cars and they were very impressed with my work and people were upset. So I knew people were upset.
Did you organize a protest to take place on June 17th, 2022?
I did not organize any protests.
Did you incite a protest to happen and take place on that day, June 17th, 2022?
I don't know what you mean by incite.
Did you encourage others to protest at Rio Muto on June 17th, 2022?
No, absolutely not. If anybody protested, they did it on their own. I had nothing to do with it.
Back to the termination. When you were terminated on June 3rd of 2022, you said that made you upset,
Yes.
right? It made you angry.
Yes.
Okay. Did it cause you any emotional distress? And if so, how did that manifest itself?
Okay, well, I just need a minute. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that shop for over 20 years. It was at that shop that I did all of my learning, formal training, all of my test taking. I had colleagues there. This was something I had dedicated my life to. And then to be fired with no real reason, bad enough to be passed over for the promotion, but then to be fired, it was like adding insult to injury. And so yes, it's been upsetting. I still, I miss having a wrench in my hand. I miss being there greasy, grease under my fingernails. And I'm not sleeping great.
Yep.
I mean, Vinny will tell you I'm very argumentative at home. It's been a lot.
As a result of this distress and the effect on your sleep, etc., did you seek any medical treatment of any kind?
I mean, that's why I was confused before when you said about counseling. I'm weird like that, so I haven't really talked to anybody about it, not how I was raised, but I probably could use some help.
When you were working there in June of 2022,
Yeah.
before you were let go, how much were you making?
I think my salary for the year was $60,000.
And had you gotten a promotion back in the spring of 22
Yeah.
after the retirement, how much would you have been making had you gotten that promotion?
I believe if I was promoted, it would have been $100,000 a year.
So $40,000 a year difference that you would have had.
That's a lot of money.
You brought a lawsuit here, and that's why we're here. In part, why we're here.
Yes.
Why did you bring a lawsuit?
Well, listen, just because I'm a woman is not a reason why I shouldn't be promoted. Okay? If anything, because I'm a woman, I should be promoted. So I brought this lawsuit because I was passed over for the promotion and then unceremoniously fired, and it has cost me a lot of money and a lot of stress and aggravation.
Your Honor, that's all I have.
Any cross-examination?
Oh boy, this is the part I'm nervous for.
That's okay. I can be mouthy too. Feel free. So, you had said earlier that you were fired because you were a woman. That's right?
Yes?
I'm confused. Talk to me. You said Real Muto isn't kind to women, right?
Well, he's just like a bit of a male chauvinist pig, you know the type?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from one woman to another. You've been around those kind of fellas.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If he didn't like women, why did he hire you on the spot at the car show?
Okay, so there's male chauvinist pig, and then there's a man who understands what's good for his business and his pocketbook. And he met me, and he knew I was good for his pocketbook.
So his pocketbook overruled his misogyny. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, at that time.
And you worked for him for 20 years, and his pocketbook continued to control that misogyny in your view.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. And you weren't the only woman that worked for Mr. Real Muto, were you?
No, the woman who retired was a woman.
She was over you, right? She was your boss.
Yeah.
And there was another woman at the shop, wasn't there?
I think like there was a manager or something who was a woman. Is that who you're talking about?
So,
People came and go. Not everyone stayed 20 years like I did.
yeah, you certainly had longevity with Mr. Real Muto. 20 years is a long, hard time to keep feelings in the closet and buried deep, wouldn't you say?
I don't understand what you mean by in the closet under this set of circumstances.
Well, what I mean is, you're saying that he was a misogynist, but clearly his business tactics and savvy overruled that. You agreed to that, correct?
No.
No.
I said that there was, you're putting words in my mouth, and this is what I was afraid of with the cross-examination. So I said that when he met me, he recognized that I would be good for business. I'm not saying that for the 20-so years that I knew him, he let that overrule his misogyny. Misogyny, I'm guessing, equals male chauvinist pig, because that was what, you heard he called me a broad. Who does that? So no, I don't agree that he kept that in the closet.
Okay. But he hired you on the spot
He did.
as a woman.
Yes.
Your boss, the chief mechanic, for that 20 years or so that you worked there, was a woman. One of the managers at the shop was a woman. Okay. Talk to me about this chief mechanic position. That's not just skills related to the car, is it?
I don't follow.
Chief mechanic, what are they in charge of?
I mean, they're in charge of everything. They're in charge of working on the cars. They're in charge of training the new people. Like I was an apprentice. The chief mechanic trains the new apprentices. They run the shop. I mean, Mr. Realmuto ran the shop, but, the chief mechanic has to talk to customers, employees, whatever. They're the chief.
Face of the company, as it were, yeah?
I don't know about face of the company, but they're very important.
It meant being the final word in disputes in the shop.
I guess so. I think Realmuto is the final word, but as he was the final word in my firing,
And you said that it involved interacting with customers.
yes,
That's not your strong suit, is it?
I think I'm perfectly strong in that suit.
Well, were you perfectly strong in that suit when you were arguing and yelling at customers?
You're talking about, as I said, a couple of instances over 20 years. You show me the person who hasn't had a couple of arguments that maybe they regretted over 20 years. Show me that person.
Well, I'm thinking about this one time in particular. You mentioned earlier that you're not very good with years, but you got into an argument with a customer about a ignition timing on a 64 Chevy. Is that right?
Yeah,
It was his car, right?
it sure was, but if he knew so much about his car, why was he bringing it to us?
So you argued with the customer about the year of his car. So you were really good with that year, but you're not good with other years?
Well, there are people who have, they can remember every single sports statistic, but they can't do their math homework. It's kind of like that. I know cars.
You mentioned that you had to apologize to that customer.
I did.
In fact, you were made to apologize to that
Yes,
customer.
my boss made me apologize.
Because you didn't want to.
No, I did not want to. I was right, and the customer was wrong.
But that's not the only time you've had to apologize to a customer, is it?
I think there was one other time, maybe.
Yeah. And you were made again to apologize.
Well, yeah. I mean, people usually have a hard time apologizing on their own.
You've also been made to apologize to other mechanics in the shop.
I mean, you're really getting nitpicky now. Again, we're talking about 20 years that I worked there.
So you don't recall routinely cursing and yelling at your coworkers?
No, I do not recall routinely yelling and cursing at my coworkers.
And I think you said, you're from Brooklyn. That tends to be a loudmouth. People don't like it.
Wait a minute. I said I'm from Brooklyn. You said tend to be a loudmouth. People don't like it. Don't put words in my mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry if I misunderstood your testimony.
No,
I'll
I'm
take it
from
back.
Brooklyn and I'm proud to be from Brooklyn. Don't make it like it's a bad thing.
Oh, certainly not.
Okay. Anybody from Brooklyn in the house?
Your Honor.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm just trying to diffuse. It's very tense.
It's not helpful, is it, to have to routinely be made to apologize and be the face of a customer that you've yelled and told them they're wrong?
Did you say it's not helpful?
It's not helpful, is it?
To whom?
To your business.
I mean, look, if you do good work, which I did, if you fix people's cars so that they're fixed, which I did, I think other stuff sometimes happens. It's not perfect, but it's not ruining a business.
So if I, as a customer, require expert mechanic work on my car,
Yes.
I should take that regardless of any abuse I might suffer at that shop?
I mean, I really feel like you're exaggerating a little bit here. And I wasn't abusive. And by the way, pretty sure those customers came back.
But we're not sure.
Not positive, but I think they did.
You believe that you have to fight for what you want or you won't get it. Isn't that right?
Well, I mean, you're a woman. It's not the same for us. We do have to, unfortunately, still, in this day and age, prove ourselves sometimes, especially in a male-dominated world.
Would you say that in a leadership role, when the company's bottom line is on what you say and how you interact, is it always good to fight?
No, listen, I mean, I'm honest here. I told you a couple of times I probably regretted my actions, but I don't, what we're talking about here is if that made me not qualified for the position. And again, I put to you, people can step out of line a little bit and it doesn't make them unqualified for a position. So I admit that maybe I got a little agitated a couple of times at work and it was unfortunate, but I deserved that promotion.
Would your coworkers agree that you deserve that promotion?
You'd have to ask my coworkers.
The ones that you were yelling and cursing at?
You'd have to ask them, ma'am.
So you were fired on June 3rd of 2022?
That's right.
And you had been formally written up, record of conflict with customers, staff, and you were also publicly criticizing of your employer, were you not?
After I was
I
fired.
object on the characterization as regularly having conflicts with.
All right, let's break up the question as well.
You were actively tweeting negative comments about Mr. Real Milto's shop, hashtag naming the shop before you were fired, is that not right?
No, that was after I was fired.
So Mr. Real Milto never had a conversation with you and told you to stop doing that?
I don't recall that.
And he never explained to you that your tweets were damaging the business?
I think all of this happens after I was fired, so I don't think we were having many conversations, but I'm sorry, I might be misremembering that.
People were responsive to your tweets, were they not?
How do you mean responsive?
You got engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I told this jury, people were upset that I was fired and passed over for a promotion.
And when they took your words and turned that into actions, did you say anything to them about that?
What do you mean say anything to them? How am I supposed to say something to people? Look, I can't explain to you what gets people all worked up. I mean, did you see the crowds outside of that Karen Reed trial recently? I don't know what these people do that they have so much free time to be outside of the courtroom all day long like that. But what I'm saying to you is, I put it out there, as is my First Amendment right to do. I tweeted, I posted, I was upset. What people did with that information is not my responsibility. I did not tell people to go and do anything violent or destructive.
So when they responded to your tweets and
Yes.
outlined, hey, we're going to protest, we're going to take action on your behalf, you didn't diffuse that? You didn't say don't say
I was not aware
anything?
that they were doing this. I was not aware of this. People may have responded, but I didn't know people were going to do anything. And quite frankly, I still don't know what people did.
So you had no idea the protest was going to happen, is that what you're saying?
I did not know a protest was going to happen.
And the protest ostensibly occurred because of your tweets and people wanting to take up arms in your defense.
I mean, objection? Can somebody object here? Like, ostensibly occurred because of my tweets? I don't know what that even means.
Ms. Gambini, if you'll listen to the question I asked.
I'm
Answer
sorry,
the
I'm
question.
sorry, but I don't know how my tweets made people take up arms.
You said people wanted to come to your defense. It rallied the community.
Defense does not have to mean a physical action.
Okay.
Defense could mean a petition.
So if you didn't encourage them to action and you weren't there that day, then why were you arrested along with them for mob action?
Sometimes police work could be a little sloppy.
Okay. Is it also sloppy police work for you to plead guilty to that mob action?
So this is what I was told. You know, my husband's a lawyer, and the penalty when I pled guilty was, you know, community service, a range of hours, the cost to me to hire a lawyer, because this was not my husband's forte, was going to be much more than pleading guilty to something that was ridiculous. And so maybe I was ill-advised, but that's what I did.
After you were fired, you said, I quote, "If JT didn't want me, I'd show him. My payback would be taking his customers." Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Was it just venting when you said that?
No, it's a dog-eat-dog world. He fired me. I was going to start my own business, and there's only so many customers to go around.
So it was your idea to compete directly with his business?
Yes, and I do not believe that's a crime.
So was tweeting offensive remarks about his business venting, or was that marketing?
Maybe a little bit of both.
I'm going to show you what we have marked here as an exhibit.
May I take out my glasses, Your Honor? Okay.
May I approach, Your Honor? Is this marked?
Okay. Okay, I see it.
This is marked Trial Exhibit C. Can you tell me what you see in that photo?
This is a car.
Can you tell me what kind of car that is?
You know, yes, of course I can, because I know everything about cars, but I need to check my notes because I forgot what kind of car it is. No, it's not the car with the timing on the transmission that we were arguing about earlier. That was a 1964 Chevy Bel Air. This, however, bear with me, everybody. Oh, this is the 1965. Oh, right. Of course it is. It's the 1965 Shelby Daytona Coupe.
This is one of the rarest cars in the world.
It is quite rare.
The condition of that car, what would you say?
Well, it was in excellent condition. Maybe some would say mint.
That's like a show quality car.
Oh, it's a fabulous car.
The car's worth, what, nearly $1 million?
I don't know for sure on that. I think you would need an expert to testify about that.
Do you know what that car looks like today?
I do not. I don't know that this is not what the car looks like today.
I'm going to hand you another exhibit.
Okay.
Marked Trial Exhibit E.
Yes.
What do you see in that photo?
I see a different version of this car.
So it's the same car.
I mean, I can't say for sure it's a picture of the same car. They are rare, but it looks like a different car.
I would agree. On the mint condition car, do you see a number on the hood?
I do.
Do you see a number on the hood on the damaged car?
I do.
Is it the same number?
It is.
Describe for me the quality of the second photo, the one you're looking at right
this
now.
car has sustained some serious damage, but I don't know that it's the same car. But this car, you know, doesn't look as gorgeous as this one does. It's damaged.
Would we call that totaled in the construction business? Or, excuse me, the mechanic business?
It depends on who's going to do the fixing. But I think that cars like this, it may take a lot of time and effort, but I think it could be restored.
When you said that you were going to show him, meaning Mr. Muramoto, that had nothing to do with damaging this almost $1 million prize once in a lifetime car.
Oh my God, I would never do such a thing. I love cars. No. When I said I was going to show him, I specifically meant that I was going to start my own business and compete with him. That's what I meant.
Were you at all worried about these cars when you learned that people were protesting and and being violent at his shop?
No, I did not know people were gonna get violent at his shop.
Did you know they were going to, when somebody climbs on the roof and starts banging and trying to take apart things, is that getting violent?
Ma'am, I don't know why you think I know anything about what people were doing on a roof, what violence was happening. I was not there. So are you asking me hypothetically?
I'm sorry, I forgot you weren't there. You were just arrested for it.
Your Honor, will you strike the comment by counsel?
Sustained. Chair will disregard that last comment by counsel. Questions are not evidence. Next question, please.
You're here today, why?
Because I was I gave everything.
Sorry.
I just wanted my client to take her time, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'd appreciate it if
Thank
the
you.
counsel didn't coach his witness.
He's just being a nice man. I gave everything to that shop. Everything. Over 20 years. And I was passed over for a promotion I deserved, but worse, I was terminated. Really, for no reason. So I'm here today to get what's mine. Because it is very, very hard to start from scratch at my age in this profession. And that is why I am here today.
When you were fired, you actually began to fulfill your dream of opening your own shop, didn't you?
I'm still trying to fulfill that dream, but it ain't easy.
You've had the shop for a couple of years, but it's not really brought in any money, has it?
No,
The press tour and the radio interviews you've gone on after you filed this suit, is that to express your hurt, or is that marketing for the new business?
can't it be both?
And I think you touched on it earlier, you said the chief mechanic role you had wanted was paying $100,000 a year,
The job I wanted.
and you were making $60,000 before that.
That's right.
Okay. But you're claiming just $200,000 in lost earnings alone.
That's just for the years that I haven't been able to earn what I was supposed to earn. You have to ask my lawyer more questions about the dollars.
You were entitled to that job, and since you didn't get it, Mr. Realmoto owes you. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, any reader?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gambini, you can step down.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you, jurors.
Plaintiff ready to call their next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The plaintiff calls Mr. Harry Helms to the stand.
All right, Mr. Helms, come on down, have a seat. Actually, before you do, if you could raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm the testimony about to give this matter before the court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Harry Helms, spelled Harry. Helms spelled Helms, like Helms Deep.
Good morning, Mr. Helms. How are you?
Good morning, I'm well.
Are you nervous today?
Petrified.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do my best to help you make you feel comfortable.
Thank
I
you.
want to jump right into this. Do you know my client, Miss Mona Lisa Gambini?
I do. Good morning.
And how do you know Miss Gambini?
We worked together for a number of years.
And how long did you work with the lovely Miss Gambini?
Approximately 4 years.
And what type of business is Real Muto?
It's a classic car restoration business.
Okay, and was it mechanic shop?
It is a mechanic shop.
And would you agree with me that a mechanic shop might be maybe a looser atmosphere than a flower shop or a doctor's office?
Oh, most definitely.
And would you agree with me that sometimes in a mechanic shop, men were mouthy and might use profanity?
I'd say that's a fair assessment.
And would it also be fair that sometimes in a mechanic shop, women might be mouthy and use profanity?
Yeah, certainly.
And would you agree with me that sometimes even customers come into a mechanic shop, might be mouthy, and might use profanity?
Not as often, but yes, that does occur.
Do you believe, based on your, and let me back up, how long did you work with my client, Miss Gambini?
About 4 years.
And do you believe, based on those 4 years of experience in working with Miss Gambini, that she used more or less or the same amount of profanity as all the other mechanics, whether they be male or female?
I'd say probably about the same.
And do you have any knowledge that during your 4 years of working with Miss Gambini at Real Muto that the company lost any customers because of Miss Gambini's being mouthy?
No, I'm not aware of that.
And how would you describe Miss Gambini's work ethic?
Impeccable.
How would you describe the quality of work that she provided for her customers?
Top of the line. She was as good as any mechanic that worked with us.
And do you agree with Real Muto's attorney's statement in opening when he said that Miss Gambini does excellent work?
I do agree.
Do you believe that Miss Gambini cared about her customers?
Yeah, certainly.
Do you think she cared about her job?
I'd say so.
And I know there's been some talk about tweets that Miss Gambini made. Did you ever hear Miss Gambini tweet or discuss protesting Real Muto?
No, I never saw any of that.
And did you see some tweets from Miss Gambini?
I followed her for a time period, yes.
Okay. But in the tweets that you saw, you never saw any tweets where she was encouraging anyone to go out and protest or commit any type of violence. Is that true?
Certainly not.
And during the time, the 4 years that you worked with Miss Gambini, did she ever talk about aspirations of somehow opening her own shop?
No, she never mentioned that to me.
As far as the other mechanic, Gwen, did you know that Gwen planned to retire?
We did.
And when you heard Gwen plan to retire, who did you believe the title of chief mechanic would go to?
You know, I'm not sure. That wasn't part of my purview, but certainly Miss Gambini was qualified for it.
Did you know that she wanted to be chief mechanic?
Yes.
Did she make it a secret she wanted to be chief mechanic?
No.
And do you believe, based on your 4 years of experience in working with Miss Gambini, that she was qualified by her background, training, and experience to be the chief mechanic?
Yes, she could certainly do the job.
Did she get the job?
She did not.
And I understand the job was given to a man by the name of Mr. Peter Alonzo. Do you know Mr. Alonzo?
I do know him, yes.
Did you know him prior to the time that he came to work to Real Muto?
No, I did not.
So to be clear, he was an outside hire, correct?
Yes.
He did not have 20 years of experience in working with Real Muto and its customers, correct?
That's correct.
And did Real Muto have repeat customers, meaning obviously some came in, but did they have a fair amount of repeat customers?
Oh, definitely. Part of the business included repairs and ongoing maintenance.
Okay. And based on your experience, did Miss Gambini have a good relationship with most of the customers?
I'd say that's a fair assessment.
And prior to the time that Miss Gambini's job of chief mechanic was given to Mr. Alonzo, did you ever hear Mr. Real Muto state that Miss Gambini was not as physically strong as the men?
Maybe not in those words, but to that effect, yes.
And prior to the time that Miss Gambini's job was given to a man, did you ever hear Mr. Real Muto say that he hated losing to broads?
He did. I did hear him say that, yes.
And was there anything in your experience that in her job as a mechanic that Miss Gambini was unable to do because she was a woman?
No. She could do all of her core job duties. Just like any other mechanic there, she occasionally needed help lifting some things, which was part of my job, but by and large, she could do the job.
And do you know if Mr. Real Muto ever even considered her for this job?
I don't know.
We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hi, Mr. Helms. My name is Melissa Bailey. I have a few questions for you. I'm one of the attorneys who represent your employer, Mr. Real Muto, okay?
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Helms. Now, in all of your years working for Mr. Real Muto, did you ever hear him say that a woman cannot be a good mechanic?
No, I did not.
Did you ever hear Mr. Real Muto say that a woman can't be a boss of a mechanic shop?
No.
Did you ever hear Mr. Real Muto say, in particular, that Mona Lisa wasn't a good mechanic?
No, he never said that.
But did you hear Mr. Real Muto say that he had concerns about Miss Gambini's demeanor?
What do you mean by demeanor?
The way she interacted with other people in the shop or with the customers?
I'm aware that there was an incident one time where she was perhaps chastised for how she interacted with one of the customers, if that's what you're referring to.
So you heard Mr. Real Muto say that Miss Gambini was a good mechanic, but you also heard him say that he had concerns about, at times, how she behaved towards other people. Is that right?
At least on one occasion.
And in fact, while you were working at Real Muto, the person who managed the whole shop for a period of time was in fact a woman, wasn't it?
That's true.
And you never heard Mr. Real Muto debase her in any way for the fact that she was a woman, did you?
Not that I can recall.
He allowed her to do her job, right?
I believe so.
Now, I believe you testified earlier that you heard Mr. Real Muto after the Christmas party when he lost at the pool game to Miss Gambini say that he wasn't happy that he lost, right?
I don't think I said where it occurred, but yes,
You were there, you heard that?
I was there.
Do you know anybody who likes to lose?
No,
Do you know anybody who goes and plays a game with the goal of losing that game?
no,
And I believe you were in the courtroom earlier when Miss Gambini said that, in fact, she beat him 20 years running in that pool game, didn't she?
I believe that's probably true.
And in the 19 years prior to the year that Miss Gambini was terminated, did Mr. Real Muto ever fire her for beating him at pool?
No,
Did he ever demote her for beating him at pool?
not to my knowledge.
Did you ever see Mr. Real Muto take any punitive action towards Miss Gambini in the 19 times she beat him in pool prior to the year we're here about now?
No,
Now, I believe you said that you were aware of some tweets that Miss Gambini had sent with respect to Real Muto. Is that right?
yes,
And were those tweets about Real Muto negative about that business?
I believe she was venting her frustrations, yes.
And were they negative about Mr. Real Muto personally as well?
There might have been one or two.
And those were publicly available, right? Anybody who went on Twitter or X could see those tweets, couldn't they?
I'm not sure how it works, but certainly people who followed her,
And you were able to see them publicly, right?
yes.
Now, you would agree with me that if somebody saw those tweets like a customer, they wouldn't paint Mr. Real Muto or his business in a positive light, would they?
But you'd have to ask them.
You didn't look at him and think it painted him in a positive light, did you?
No,
Now, Mr. Helms, would you agree with me that there's a difference between yelling and yelling at someone?
what do you mean?
You might go to a football game and yell, "Go team," but then if you go up to Judge McAfee and start screaming in his face, that's something different, isn't it?
I would agree that's different.
And would you agree with me that there's a difference between using profanity and cussing at someone?
In the same kind of context as what we were just talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, when you worked with Mrs. Gambini, did she yell at you?
She certainly did.
So she wasn't just yelling generally, she was yelling at you specifically, correct?
Yes.
And when you worked with Miss Gambini, did she ever cuss at you?
Once or twice?
So she wasn't just generally using profanity, she was cussing at you personally, correct?
That's true.
And you heard her also yell at other mechanics in the shop, right?
I may have overheard that, yes.
And you heard her cuss at other mechanics in the shop, correct?
Yes.
And you were aware of instances where she got in arguments involving yelling with customers on at least one occasion, correct?
Yes.
And now, during all of this time, Miss Gambini was your coworker and not your boss, right?
That's true.
And wouldn't you agree with me that it is a very different dynamic between you and your coworkers? and you and your boss who is responsible for whether you keep your job or not,
I suppose that's true.
you wouldn't want your boss who decides if you get to keep your job or not cussing at you, would you?
Well, it depends on the context, but certainly not in general.
And you would not want your boss who is responsible for deciding if you keep your job or not yelling at you, would you?
As long as I didn't deserve it.
Right. And so you would agree with me that things you might tolerate from a coworker would feel very different if they were coming from your boss who got to decide whether you got your paycheck every week or not.
That's
right?
true. It would be a different dynamic.
Now, you agree with me that the customers of Real Muto entrust you with very valuable possessions, right?
Yes.
And oftentimes these vehicles are more than just what we would consider possessions. They're very sentimental to these customers, aren't they?
Oh, definitely.
And would you agree with me that the high-end classic car community is quite tight-knit?
Yes.
And these people talk. They go to car shows, they go to all of these events, and they talk about their experiences, don't they?
Yeah, they take a lot of pride in what they do.
And in fact, one of the ways that Real Muto has built its business is by having good word of mouth from clients who have used them and been happy with their services, right?
That's true.
And so wouldn't you agree with me if that word of mouth changed, that could impact the customer base for Real Muto?
Potentially.
Wouldn't you agree with me that if your customers saw negative comments about Mr. Real Muto and his business, that could negatively impact your ability to keep your job?
Potentially.
And if you had this beautiful prized possession that you had worked your whole life for, and you needed it repaired, would you want to give your money to a shop where the lady who was repairing it yelled at you when you came in to check on the status?
Well, it depends on the level of quality work she gave.
So you think that if you took $1 million prized possession in, you would be okay with giving them your money and getting yelled at in return?
Well, it depends on how thick your skin is, but as long as the work is good and I trust her to do good work.
You think that's okay? You think that's good customer service, Mr. Helms?
I didn't say it's good customer service, but I still might give her my business.
Would you want her to be the boss of your business if she yelled at your customers?
I don't know.
Think about that. Thank you, Mr. Helms.
Can you redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this one is to be excused. All right, you can step down, sir. So is there any further evidence on the part of the plaintiff?
No further proof, Your Honor.
All right, so the plaintiff is rested, and I believe we've reached the point where we'll take a recess for lunch.
Yes, we're a little ahead, Your Honor, but we're going to take the lunch break now.
When should we reconvene?
Why don't we move that up to 12:30 or a little bit before 12:30? That's okay with you, Your Honor?
All right, folks. Members of the jury, we're excused until
Your Honor,
12:30. Don't
point of
discuss the
order,
case
Your
with
Honor,
anyone.
before we dismiss the jury.
How about it?
I think at this time, after plaintiff's case is rested, correct?
That's correct.
At this point, defense would move for directed verdict, Your Honor. I think the evidence clearly not shown, and should not be put before this jury, that she has even begun to make out a prima facie case for gender discrimination or any type of discrimination whatsoever. So on that basis, defense would move for a directed verdict, and that this good jury could be excused for the rest of the day.
All right, we're assuming the arguments are made outside their presence.
Of
Any
course.
response from the plaintiff?
Your Honor, Mr. Ramuto is represented by a fine, famous lawyer, and I appreciate his arguments, but they fail for multiple reasons, Your Honor. The proof so far has been, and it is undisputed, that my client says that she was terminated because she was a woman, Your Honor. I don't think that's just the proof now, but I contend that that's going to be the proof at the close. But certainly right now, with respect to there being a motion for a directed verdict, Your Honor, it should be denied.
All right, thank you, counsel. Well, in cases such as these, where so much depends on what's the state of mind of the defendant and his intent, and putting all inferences in favor of the non-movement of such a motion, I do believe the law compels me to deny it, and we have to trust that the jury is going to reach the right decision in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
With that, I suppose now we're good for our break here, so we'll be back. I do what the bailiff tells me. At 12:30, members of the jury, remember, don't let these folks, nefarious folks, influence you. And we'll see you then.